Welcome to a quick video tutorial on OpenHeatMap. This is the idea of turning your data into a map. I've chosen this tool because it's really easy to use and I think creates quite nice maps. So this is the website, www.openheatmap.com, and it's quite simple, and you can go down to the bottom and see the gallery option, which shows you pre-designed maps. So as you can see, there's a few different things you can do with them and different styles that you can create. So this is one in more detail. This is mapping the US presidential elections from 1868 to 2008. And as you can see, I can hover over the states and see the name of the state and see the percentage. And the other cool thing that I can do with this is that it's animated time-wise. So it animates the change of the voting patterns for around 140 years. So if I press play here, the changes of color represent the changes of the voting pattern. So it's quite a nice little feature. So let's get making one. OpenHeatMap recognizes two different data entries: Excel or CSV file or Google Docs. I'm just going to quickly show you both just so you know the different two options and you're able to do whichever one you would prefer. So the question that I chose to look at is the first one, and I chose Australia at random. You can choose any of these questions if you think that you have the data for the other countries and you are interested in visualizing it. You have to consider what would be appropriate to visualize on a map, as not everything is. So question 1, over the past 2 years, how has the level of corruption in this country changed? OpenHeatMap only will recognize one value, so one number for each country. So what I've done is I've added increased a little and increased a lot together to represent a value of it. So it will answer the question of which countries has the level of corruption increased in the most in a particular region or area. So I just get my Excel sheet. So I have about 11 countries here, and this is the value here is the number I added together from increased a little and increased a lot. So the header is country, and then second header is value. So it's important to save this as a CSV file. So I've already saved it so it came up as CSV, but it automatically won't. So you need to save it as a CSV file. And I've saved it to my desktop. I've already made it, so I'm replacing it. So that's the first method done. The second option is to do it through Google Docs. So I'm logging onto my Gmail. I've gone onto my Drive. I'm creating a spreadsheet. And I've just copied and pasted the data I already had on the Excel sheet. So here it is. Now what's important is to save this publicly, as OpenHeatMap needs to be able to find your data. All data on OpenHeatMap is publicly available, so please be aware of that. Right, so I'm going to click Publish to the Web and then Start Publishing. And then this is the link that we'll need. So I'm going to copy that and close it. Right, so now I'm going to heatmap. Back to the heatmap, OpenHeatMap. I can either put my Excel form sheet in, or I can do my Google Doc URL. I'll put my Google Doc URL. So I'm just going to paste what I previously got in my Google Doc, and I'm going to press upload. It's just going to load. And then view your map. So it's really quick, really easy. And here it is. So as you can see, it's visualized the whole world map, but I don't really need that empty map on my visualization. So I'm just going to zoom into my chosen area, kind of centralize that. So you can fiddle around with this zoom option until you're happy with it. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And then you can put your title in. For the value, I'm going to put percentage because that's what the value is. And this is the range. And you have the option to change the transparency of the background and of the countries. So it kind of looks a bit more like a real map. And you have different degrees of that. However, personally, I prefer it with zero transparencies. I think it looks a bit more striking, but it's completely up to you. Then you can have the choice of borders. Again, I prefer white borders for some reason. And then you have color choices. You have quite a lot of color choices here. So you can really change whatever color you prefer. And they have 5 set color choices. So these are different shades of green, different shades of red. Manchester is an array of colors. The problem I have with Manchester and London is that it's easy to say, oh, yellow is the lowest value and blue is the highest. But where does purple lie? You can probably guess somewhere in the middle, but which is purple higher than this orange color? I think it's quite confusing. So I would stick with one shade of the same color. There's a color guide in the visualization tool on ChapterZone, as the color of your visualizations is quite an important factor. But you can have a look at the different resources that we've put on there. So I'm pretty happy with my map. So I'm going to save. And here it is. So I hover over the different countries and I can see the percentages of whether they think corruption has increased a little or a lot over the last 2 years. There it is. So now I can embed this into my website by clicking on this embed, and I have the code here. So you just copy and then you paste it into your website, the HTML code. For those who wanted to do something with time, you would need the GCB data from previous years. I'm not sure if that's something that you would have available, but if you did want to use time now or in the future, it's very easy. All you have to do is a third column with time. And these are all from 2012. And then I get my values from, let's say, 2010. And the different percentages. Making these up because I don't know them. And then you just add it, you just update your Excel spreadsheet, go back to the beginning and create a new map and it will become animated. But all you need to do is add a time. So that's it. Now you have some GCB data mapped on OpenHeatMap. If you have any questions, please contact me. I hope you found this a little bit useful. And we have other video tutorials on other visualizations that we're profiling.